decided to do a video today. I don't know why my light is on. It must be from doing that skating video a couple days ago. But I'm just going to leave it on because I already started the video. Um, I decided to do a video on, um, my goodness, my mom just messaged me. Anyway, um, I decided to do a video on good selling practices on anything that you do, but of course that's going to be kind of tied into vacuum cleaners because this is where the story originates from. So, as you know, if you watch my videos to the end and listen to everything, um, my grandparents have been asking me about this rainbow of mine, and I got it out to vacuum with just because I was going to use my filter clean, but the power nozzle's in the back of my bedroom closet, so this was already out pretty much, so I was just like, I'm just going to use this. So anyway, my grandparents have been wanting a rainbow. There is one locally for sale, like 10 minutes away from me, which is very uncommon. It's a Rainbow E2 blue model, the model before this one, and I was going to buy it. She was asking $200 for it, said that it's just too bulky for her to carry up and down the steps. It was for sale on Facebook. Her and I have mutual friends, so, typically that helps with things, and people are less likely to act sketchy. Well, if you've ever heard of the app Letgo, she was also selling it on there as well because I got a notification saying a vacuum cleaner under your recent search history has been posted. So I was like, all right, checked on there, same exact person selling the same vacuum cleaner. So I said, all right, I'll message her on here just in case the sale goes south. I'll have another chance under a different profile because they don't need to know your name on Letgo. If you're doing it on Facebook, which was my fail-safe, would have been obviously through my own profile. So anyway, I messaged her on there, and she's just like, because I mean, anybody who is going to buy a vacuum, especially because this vacuum was posted in very dim lighting, she said that it was in good shape, but she's just, some young girl who, anybody who thinks a vacuum's in good shape means that there's no problems with it. But for those of us who do care, we are talking about a vacuum that isn't in rough shape and doesn't look like somebody beat it against a wall on every pass that they did with it. So, which is something I will not buy. And when you think about it, Rainbow, Kirby, anything regardless, for those who really don't care, $200 is a lot to spend on a used vacuum that you don't know how well it was taken care of. That's the basis fundamental, I think, for anyone buying a vacuum. Is it even worth? Most people are going to say, no, I'm going to take my $200 and go buy a Shark. Or I'm going to take my $200 and I'm going to, go buy a Dyson at Walmart. That's what I'm going to do. And I can return it. And I can buy a new one. And if I don't like it or if it doesn't work, I'm not screwed out of my money. And I got it new. So what else? I mean, it's total protection all the way around. Your money is protected by that. You're risking it when you buy something used. So, that's the thing, one of the principles I'm trying to construe to people, or to convey, not construe, to people. When you're selling a vacuum cleaner, unless you can prove that it is in mint condition or it's really worth the price that you're asking, so many people will be like, Dyson vacuum used 4 times, originally $3.99, selling for $3.50. Are you kidding me? $50 off, and if it doesn't work because you're selling it for some odd reason, not saying that you're being dishonest, but I'd rather take that extra $50 since I'm already spending $3.50 as it is, buy a brand new one. Know that it's brand new. I can return it if I don't like it, because a lot of the time you're buying one, whether you're a collector or not, because you haven't had one before. What if you don't like it? Well, now you're stuck with it and you're not getting your money back. There's no money protection when it comes to privately sold items. Okay, there's no return policy. There's no return requirement. Now, you can try and slander somebody on Facebook and say, this screenshot it, because people do it in my area all the time, sold me this, yada, 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 and said that it worked. They screwed me out of my money, blah, blah, blah. I actually had a friend that I worked with. She got this giant TV, like one of those big, old school, wooden-sided, it was faux wood, or fake wood, TVs with like the giant stand built into the bottom. It's like a two-piece TV, and it was a flat screen. She picked it up, couldn't get it to work, so she got pissed. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. She got mad. She and her husband picked it up, threw it on the girl's front lawn because it wouldn't work. But the girl ended up contacting her back and saying that they didn't have it plugged in correctly, and she showed them, and it did actually work. So that was her, wrongdoing that she shouldn't have done. My cat is just awkwardly looking over here. She creeps me out sometimes. But I was just kind of appalled by the fact that she did that. But anyway, so when you're selling a vacuum, there are no resale values on a vacuum. That's my second fundamental. There's no resale on a vacuum. Vacuums do not have resale. You can say this is what it's worth to me, but there's no NADA, there's no Kelley Blue Booking or anything or Edmunds for a vacuum cleaner, which is why it's hard to find one at a good deal for a good price, because people think that they are worth their weight in gold, and that's not true. And especially when it comes to a vacuum like a Kirby or a Rainbow or a Filter Queen or something like that, I can understand if it truly was, but you've got to think all the people that they have to pay just to get that person into your home, and the business that it is. It's commission based. Things are naturally going to be more expensive. From the factory, there isn't a single one of those door-to-door vacuum cleaners that are sold for $1,000 or bought for $1,000 from the distributor itself, or the actual manufacturer, I should say. I don't know the specific price of a Rainbow, but I'm pretty sure the guy was dishonest to me. He said it was $7.50, or maybe it was just under $7 to buy a Rainbow from Rainbow to sell out and about. I'm sure it's really not that much, which their commission and everything. I really don't think he would have told me the real price. And he said that they need to at least make double that back. So that's why they're typically sold for $1,400 at a good deal, maybe as low as $1,200, and they make a $500 commission. And that's only if you call them up out of your area and say, I don't want an in-home demo, I know I want the vacuum, what kind of numbers can you give me? And a lot of these people, I mean, I was a salesman, not for vacuums, but they think that confidence and persistence is what's going to sell. Well, not me. If you tell me $2,500 is the standard, we sign a contract saying that we can't sell them for less than that much, I don't care. I'll be like, okay, thank you. Have a good day. That would be my response, because they think that by saying that and then also adding in there, oh, and that's the price that everybody should be selling those because we sign contracts, you're not going to find it cheaper. That's not true. There's a lot of people who are willing to break rules. They're not going to get into trouble for it, but then I've talked to some people who have said, you're taking food out of families' mouths by doing that because you're selling and buying out of that person's area. They didn't buy it from you, sort of thing. More of these are sold privately than they are in homes, or at least equal number, I'm sure. So the other part, to go back to the girl situation, the specific girl that I was talking about, she messaged me back and said that she'd send me pictures. I told her as long as everything checked out, because she had a counteroffer of $150. People usually ask more than what they're willing to take because they know people are usually going to ask less or offer less. So they just skip that step. She said, my boyfriend said I can't sell it for less than $150. I said, okay, do you have attachments or manuals? Are you the original owner? She said, I might have some attachments. Doubt I have the manual. I am the original owner. I was like, okay. She's like, I'll see if I have attachments and I'll send you additional pictures. I said, all right. I said, as long as everything checks out and the 150 is, since we agreed on 150, I can pick it up Friday, which today is Friday. And I was going to try it out, see how I liked it myself, and the goal was to send it to my grandparents, as long as it was in good shape. If it wasn't, then I wasn't going to buy it anyway, because Rainbows are a dime a dozen. It's really the condition that they're in that sets the deals apart, but typically all the deals are priced the same. So a rainbow like this at $500 would be a steal. But the same exact rainbow in some of the reviewers that I've seen on Facebook, or not Facebook, but other YouTubers who own rainbows that beat the crap out of theirs at $500, I think would be something that nobody would ever buy. Not to mention, most people don't buy rainbows used anyway. They are very rarely sold. Same with Kirby's. They're like the lot sitters of vacuums because nobody's buying them. Vacuums in general, nobody's really buying used locally. Maybe on eBay, if you've got the right vacuum, you might get in luck. So anyway, the girl I messaged last night, so I talked to her Wednesday, I messaged her last night to confirm everything for today before I had to go to work, and she says, oh, my boyfriend's giving it to my grandmother. So I was just like, okay. And I was like, well, why didn't she post it? Why didn't she let me know? Seemed a little fishy. So then I go on Facebook this morning and message her and ask if it's still available under a different person. She says, I have somebody coming to look at it today. So she's a liar. I don't like people like that. When I sold my riding lawnmower, not the one that's in my video, but I had a newer Craftsman that I didn't like. I wanted a hydrostatic model. One person offered me more because I said that it was a sale pending, but I would let them know if it sold or not, and then they could come and get it if the guy didn't want it, but more than likely he wanted the riding lawnmower. He said, I'll give you an extra $50 if you sell it to me. I said, I'm sorry. I can't do that. This is for sale. I already made a deal. Like I said, if it's not sold, you will be the first to know because you're second in line. That's the way that you sell things. Honesty, you give the person that asked first the chance as long as they are at giving you the price that you agreed on. Once you agree, that's where morale comes in, and that kind of made me mad, but I felt the need to make a video about it today because there are 3 basic fundamentals to buying and selling anything, honestly, but specifically with vacuums, it's don't think that what you're selling is worth more than what it really is, okay? Because more than likely it's not. In terms of vacuums, resale value is non-existent on a vacuum. There's no such thing as a resale value. It's what it's worth, and most of the time they never sell. Go on eBay, look at these rainbows, new or used, over $1,000. They are selling like as quick as a sloth can make it through a rainforest. I mean, they are almost slim to none. And then third of all, when you strike a deal with somebody, stick with it. Just because you can be dishonest and be shady, you don't know when somebody is smart like me and knows that a lot of the time these, and I'm pretty sure I know the girl, she doesn't have a job. She's got a couple kids. She's my age. She's probably had 3 or 4 different boyfriends. I'm not trying to stereotype, but this is the area that I live in. And, she's probably just money hungry, and she's probably just trying to sell it just to make a quick buck or something, and she realized she can make an extra 50. But being sneaky and dishonest, I feel that I do have the right to say something like that when she kind of screwed me out of a deal and wasn't even going to tell me. I had to ask myself, but that's the type of person I am. I always make sure ahead of time that the deal is still ready to go, that it's all set in stone. Just like my Eris Platinum, same thing. Terrific people, and you can tell, like I complimented them in the video. Of course, nobody knows who they are, and they're never going to see the video, but I still gave them props. They were very nice people, had a nice house. Does that mean that that makes them a nice person? No, but, I mean, I'm not stereotyping, but I kind of expected it from this girl. But anyway, that is my review of buying do's and don'ts, I guess. So it also is benefiting a seller and a buyer. And I'm sure some of you may disagree, or some of you may say, oh yeah, I totally agree, but end up doing it yourself because the opportunity's there. And the opportunity is great, but it can also be the #1 leader of making some big mistakes or things that can upset other people. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'd love to know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned.